welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Sword and Shield. In the last episode, we pretty much camped off with the Eevee crew, and in this episode, we are actually going to be finishing off with the legendary captures, which I already did. I already got all the footage of everything, so this is pretty much what I got from here. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to get all the legendaries because of version exclusives, but I was able to get the legendary birds, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres that are not Galar versions. And then I got Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. And then, of course, Mewtwo's there. I finally got him, which actually didn't take as long as I thought, or didn't take as, it actually was quicker than I thought it would be. And then we got Lugia. Now, if you're playing Sword, you're gonna get a Ho-Oh. Same with Latias. If you're playing Sword, you'll get Latios. And then Kyogre. If you're playing Sword, you'll get Groudon. And then we have Rayquaza, Heatran, Cresselia. Actually, not Celesteela. That's an Ultra Beast. We got Palkia and Dialga if you're playing Sword. Giratina, the Uxie, Azoth, and Mesprit trio. Then we got Zekrom and Reshiram if you're playing Sword, Kyurem, Thundurus, and then Tornadus if you're playing Sword. And then we got Landorus and then Yveltal here, but you'll get Xerneas if you're playing Sword. And then we got Zygarde. Now, this Zygarde took a long time for me to get, especially when it had an ability called the, what was it? Did I miss it? Okay, it had the power construct ability. So other cells gather to aid when its HP becomes half or less. Then the Pokemon changes its form to complete form. So yeah. And fortunately for me, I was able to catch it at 50%, while it was still 50% since I finally gathered a team that was mainly consisted of ice types, or was it me that had the ice type and, did all the work and everything? I don't know. It'll be on the video that I'll show you, so, yeah. But let me tell you, try not to get Zygarde to activate its power construct when you're doing this, because you are going to have a hard time getting the 100% form, down. Because as soon as it gets 100% form, it, gets a huge HP boost. And that's going to be very difficult. Not to mention, some of the stats might be, higher. And then as for Kyogre, I was trying to get a team of grass types, but I ended up, figuring it out on, catching it and so forth. So it didn't take, as long as Zygarde. So, and as for the others were pretty easy once I was able to locate them and so forth. So let's go ahead and get the footage on what other Pokemon I still had. Alright, so when we left off, if you guys are following the legendary captures I did, we left off with some missing Pokemon. So yeah, there's Mesprit that I was able to catch. And keep in mind, I did all the legendaries in Premier Balls. Next up, we have Tornadus here. Or not Tornadus, but Thundurus. Which was a flying type, of course. And of course, caught that in a Premier Ball as well. Alright, next up we got Zapdos. These are pretty much the last Pokemon that I caught, that from the last time I did, videos of this, which is going to be in the Ultra Beast video. Alright, next up we have Terrakion. I did struggle a little bit on this one, only like once or twice, but that was mainly it. I eventually got it. Cordelia is pretty easy for me to catch. Surprisingly, I thought she was going to put up a bit of a fight, but I was wrong. But I was mainly prepping for Mewtwo on that one. So I may have, overestimated the Cordelia that time. Alright, so here's the Zygarde that I had. I'm gonna actually keep this video going since I left out some stuff, but yeah, I had Swampert that had a huge blizzard advantage, so I was able to catch it without much help from the thing. In fact, I actually saved a whole bunch of blizzard moves for that moment, because I knew I was going to be fighting Zygarde at the time. Alright, so here's the Mewtwo, and I actually did this with 3 hearts, and thankfully, he did not recover like last time. If you guys remember the video, where... Oh wait, that's not Mewtwo, that's not you. Oops. I completely forgot that, that was part of it. Okay, this should be Mewtwo. So yeah, I was, thankfully the thing did not recover because, if you guys remember from the video where I, tried to get all the Ultra Beasts in one shot, you would know that I encountered Mewtwo. And, it was a really long battle, and I think you can also get blown out again if you take too long, fighting it. In this case, Mewtwo was stalling at that time, but luckily, he wasn't able to recover, so we got him. So yeah, I had a couple of grass types on this team. Maybe no electric type. I don't remember if I did. Nah, there was no electric type. But at least we were able to get him. And that's the last of it. So, yeah, we got all the collections along with the Ultra Beasts that I might actually camp out with. And unfortunately, I won't be able to get Solgaleo unless, by some miracle, I find someone who plays Sword still and I can, link trade that one. And then this thing has a rare candy just in case. Or EXP candy in this case. And so forth. So, yeah. Still waiting on that one at the time, but... So then, let's go ahead and... Actually, I want to see if Peony says anything about these legendary Pokemon. that I all caught. And he already checked out the Ultra Beast whenever I showed him, you know, whenever I got all the Ultra Beasts in and so forth. So, yeah. Let's go see if he says anything. Oh, oops. Hold on. Alright. Yes, I got Articuno. Oh, it's our imposter Articuno, only without that dodgy mask. Bet you it gets a lot more fans with those sharp fried eyes out in the open, eh? Hang on, though. Has it gotten chilly in here? Did a blizzard blow in or something? Alright, what do you got for Zapdos? Oh, looks like you got a massive jolt if you laid a finger on this one. Our imposter Zapdos must have gotten some static electricity in the old feathers. Static builds up something fierce when the air gets cold and dry, doesn't it? Yeah, guess you could say that. Alright, we got Moltres. Now, those are some serious flames. Hey, imposter Moltres, have you got a fever or something? You get some rest, you hear me? Take care of yourself. Nah, that's just how he is in Kanto. Come to think of it, I think I should probably nickname the Galarian Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres the G Articuno, G Zapdos, and G Moltres. You know, so that the G stands for Galarian. I don't think I'll have enough room to put in Galarian in front of them, so I'll probably just do G Articuno, G Zapdos, and G Moltres. But anyways, let's go ahead and show Peony Raikou. So, this is Raikou, the Pokemon they say descended with the bolt of lightning. That must have been a pretty rough ride, eh, mate? No wonder the mane on your back's gone all curly. Alright. What about Entei? So, this is Entei, the Pokemon they say was born from a volcanic eruption? Born from a volcano? Yeah, sure. Pull the other one. It's got bells on. So you're saying it's old man's a volcano? Or what? Is its mom a volcano? Well, if you visit Johto, you're going to find a different story of how Entei was created. Let's put it that way. Anyway, Suicune. Wow, that's a beautiful Pokemon, that is. That's Suicune? It's dead cool how that horn thing on its head sort of makes a loop. I wonder, though, how's it supposed to roll over when it wants to sleep on the other side? I bet it's got a rough time sleeping in general. You alright, Suicune? Getting your 8 hours? I mean, I've seen Pokemon at camp just fall asleep while standing up, so, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and bring in the next batch, and so forth. Now, if you guys are playing Sword right now, let me know what Peony says about, you know, the version exclusive Legendaries, because that'd be really interesting. That'd be really interesting for me to, like, you know, look at. But for now, let's go ahead and do the Shield exclusives. Alright, we got Mewtwo. Aha! That's Mewtwo, the ferocious Pokemon created through genetic manipulation, isn't it? Its face is a bit on the pale side. Seems docile for the most part, though. Might not have the friendliest looking mug, but I bet you it's a decent sword on the inside. Alright, we got Lugia now. So, this is the legendary Pokemon Lugia, eh? The one they call the Guardian of the Seas? And yet it's a flying type. Fancy that, being able to swim and fly. What can it do? I read they got these sporting events called Pokeathons in this one far-off region. Bet you Lugia would be brilliant in those. Oh, you have no idea. Alright, what about Latias? So, this is Latias, a Pokemon that can read people's minds using telepathy. It's got a right cute little face for such a powerful Pokemon, hasn't it? Alright, mate, let's see what you can do. What am I thinking right now? Right? No, cancel that. That's a terrifying idea now that I think about it. Peony, were you thinking about something destructive for a second? Anyways, let's go ahead and continue this. Whoa, is that Kyogre? The Pokemon they say created the seas? If the ocean's the mother of all life, and Kyogre's the mother of the ocean, should we all be calling Kyogre our Nan? What? Listen up, Chief. You better be nice and gentle with that Kyogre. I don't know. Groudon's the only one that pretty much, talks back with Kyogre, if you know what I mean. And not to mention, Kyogre has to obey this one. Huh, Rayquaza? Isn't it supposed to live way up high in the ozone layer? Sounds like some serious high-altitude training. It must be one dedicated athlete. Well, it sure got a tough enough look on its face. I don't know what your sport is, Rayquaza, but keep it up. Alright. We also got Heatran. Heatran, the Lava Dome Pokemon? That stout, plump frame, that cheeky look on its face. What an ultra mega lovable Pokemon. Where'd you find its treasure? Forget legends. I like to have one just to carry around. Yeah, well, Peony, you should probably see what's on the top of Heatran's head right now, because I bet you love to take that piece off of him. I mean, it's literally, look at it. Based off a certain YouTuber I remember, on what it says, hold on, let's see if we can actually see if we can move him around or something. Okay, I guess not. No, not that. Oops. Is there a button where I can actually, zoom in on him? Okay, never mind. I got it. Okay, based off of a certain YouTuber, if you look at the top of the Heatran's head, just so you know, it's a toy airplane. Now you won't be able to unsee it. Sorry, I had to say it. I know I'm copying someone else for saying that, but still. Let's just say if Peony saw that on the top of Heatran's head, he'd probably try and yank it off. Although Heatran would probably be mad at that. Anyways, let's go ahead and bring in the next batch. Alright. Let's see what Fiona has to say about these guys. Alright, we got Cresselia. Aha! It's Cresselia, the Pokemon that represents the crescent moon. Pretty, isn't it? Those archy bits on its back look pretty stiff though, don't they? How's the poor thing supposed to sleep on its side? Can it even turn over in bed? I worry about you, Cresselia. I'm sure it's got plenty of lunar wings to keep itself awake. Alright, let's go with Palkia. So, this is Palkia, the Pokemon that controls space? Well, if that's not just talk, I'd sure love it if I could catch up to my dear Peony instantly when she runs off. Just saying. That aside, has this thing got a banging cry or what? I've heard better. So, this is Giratina, a Pokemon that lives in a world on the reverse side of ours. It must have taken ages to get here from clear around the planet. Go on, plop down and have a rest, mate. Then again, looks like you'd be a speedy flyer. Maybe a trip like that's a dawdle for Giratina. Alright, what about Uxie? Uxie, eh? The Pokemon that governs knowledge and intelligence? Brilliant. I might have a few tiny gaps in the brains department. Maybe it could front me some smarts. Please and think me kindly, O wise and generous Uxie. Hey, what do you know? I feel brainier already. Yeah, I don't know if it works that way, Peony. Alright, what about Azelf? Azelf, eh? The Pokemon that gives people the willpower to get through sticky situations? Maybe if I have one of these around, I'd be better at dragging myself out of bed or cleaning up around the house. Or maybe getting yourself out of the possession of Calyrex. Sounds like every home needs an elf, so I've got to catch myself one. Alright, let's go ahead and do Mesprit. Mesprit, eh? The Pokemon that brought people emotions? I'll admit I can get a tad caught up in my own passions now and then. Maybe Mesprit brought me a little too much. Nah, just having a bit of fun. I may get happier or sadder than other folks, but that just means I'm making the most of life. That's nice. Alright, next batch. Yeah, needed that. Alright, this should be the last of it, so... Wait, I don't know if maybe Peony might say something about these birds. Or these, Pokemon. I should probably try it. Because I know the Tapus are also part of the legendary raids, but based on the room, I don't think, they'll actually fit, especially when I don't have any, like, two extras. I might, who knows. I don't know what I'm saying. We'll test them out in a minute. Alright, let's go ahead and try out Zekrom. Whoa, that Pokemon's crackling with electricity. Wait, come again? They say this Pokemon could blast the world with lightning? Well, don't you look calm for someone carrying around a mighty Pokemon like that, Chief. That takes a backbone, that does. Just watch out you don't get stabbed. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Alright, what about Kieran? Ooh, brr. I was wondering why it got freezing cold all of a sudden. This is your work, Kieran. Aren't you the silly one getting frozen by your own cold air? Peony, you might not want to say that in front of Kieran, just in case he actually tries to freeze you on purpose. Not to mention turn all of us into icicles. That's a bit of an odd bot, though, isn't it? Looks like a little like there's a places to stick bits on and take them off. Oops, that was rude of me. Sorry about that, Kieran. Yeah, you're lucky you didn't plan on destroying everything and freezing everything in sight at that moment. Alright, what about Thundurus? Wait. You're telling me that's a legendary Pokemon? That mug's a dead ringer for my grumpy old neighbor. So that's Thundurus, the Bolt Strike Pokemon? Well, I guess my neighbor doesn't zoom through the sky dropping lightning everywhere. Alright, what about Landorus? Wait. You're telling me that's a legendary Pokemon? That mug's a dead ringer for my grumpy old neighbor. So that's Landorus, the Abundance Pokemon? I think it's trying to steal the King of Bountiful Harvest's thunder a bit. They say this fella gives evildoers a thrashing, right? That's bits just like my neighbor, too. Okay, I don't want to know what your neighbor's like. Anyways, let's go ahead and go to Yveltal. That's a destruction Pokemon, Yveltal. The one that absorbs the life force of living things. Looks a bit like the letter Y, doesn't it? Well, I'd sure like to know why Yveltal goes around absorbing life forces like that. You can't go steal a block's life force without so much as a how do you do. Yeah, don't say that to Yveltal, otherwise he actually will take away your soul. So, this is Zygarde, a Pokemon made up of lots of little cells gathered together, just to show how little bits here and there add up. Makes you more than the sum of your pants, or however that saying goes. Take me, for instance. I get my daily workouts in, and those add up to keep years off this old block's bod. Zygarde's right clever to have that principle worked out. Yeah, sure. Anyways, let's go ahead and head over to the legendary Pokemon. Because I don't know if we actually, did all this or not. I might do this as a refresher, but in case we never actually heard of it, we'll see what Peony has to say about these legendaries. Okay. Alright, we got... Okay, I guess he's not doing, the Eternatus and Zamazenta then. Which is kind of a bummer there. I actually want to know what he would say if he, saw them. Oh, Calyrex, the King of Battle for Harvest. Sure does look like just like the legends say, riding majestically up on that loyal steed. I got an odd feeling, like I met it somewhere before he caught it, Chief. But no matter how hard I think about it, I'm just drawing a blank. Huh? Did you hear a little voice say thank you just now? Or am I hearing things? You're just hearing things. Anyways, let's go ahead and do the glaring Articuno. Oh, here it is, our imposter Articuno. Always wonder what it's thinking in there behind that dodgy mask. Did you get the feeling it's looking down its beak at us? Or maybe it's my imagination. Alright. What about Zapdos? Oh, here it is, our imposter Zapdos. Seems like it's done its best to be jagged and spiky and make its beak nice and sharp. It really wants to be a proper Zapdos. Full marks for effort. Alright, what about Moltres? Oh, here it is, our imposter Moltres. It may look a bit like it's ablaze, but it's fairly lukewarm. That ultra mega feisty look in its eyes actually makes me feel like we get on alright. Okay? Well, since Zamazenta and Eternatus are not going to be part of the thing, I'm just going to go ahead and just replace these with the 4, and so forth. Alright, let's go ahead and do Registeel. Aha, here's our little Steel Giant. Sorry to tease, mate. Just having a laugh. Don't you worry, Steel Giant. Your bowling ball bod gets full marks from me. A perfect strike. Keep up the good work, my fine, smooth friend. Alright. What about Regirock? Aha, here's our little Rock Giant. Sorry to tease, mate. Just having a laugh. Don't you worry, Rock Giant. My respect for you is as thick as those broad shoulders. Keep up the good work, my fine, rugged friend. Okay, is he gonna do this but, like, say different words? Aha, here's our little ice giant. Sorry to be fake, just having a laugh. Don't you worry, ice giant. I can see the might of your massiveness as clear as my reflection on you. Keep up the good work, my fine frozen friend. Okay, what about the Regidrago? Aha, here's a little dragon giant. Sorry to tease me, just having a laugh. Don't you worry, dragon giant. I got a great respect for clothespins. And you look like the greatest of all. Keep up the good work, my fine pinchy friend. I wonder if I got Lecky, that he would probably say something about my fine static friend or something. I don't know. That'd actually be, something that is a suggestion. Anyways, let's go ahead and get the Tapus here and see what Peony has to say. Yes, let's go ahead and do the Tapus. Who's this rockin' the Mohawk, Chief? Friend of yours? What? Is Tapu Koko a land spirit Pokemon that's a guardian deity of some island? Sneaking in a bit of undercover travel, is it? Well, not far undercover with that Ultra Mega Flash hairdo sticking out. Maybe I ought to try out a Mohawk if I ever get tired of the old buds cut. Oh, what am I doing? Alright, what about Tapu Lele? Who's the rockin' the perm, Chief? Friend of yours? What? Is Tapu Lele a land spirit Pokemon that's a guardian deity of some island? Sneaking a bit of undercover travel, is it? Bit small for that, though. That's Papa's worried. Guess his family believes in letting its little ones find their own way. Okay. What about Tapu Bulu? Who's this rockin' the horns, Chief? Friends of yours? Oh, it's Tapu Bulu, a land spirit Pokemon that's the guardian deity of some island? Sneaking in a bit of undercover travel, isn't it? Sure looks pleased enough with itself. It has noticed its horns have poked right through its hat, hasn't it? Part of me thinks I ought to let it know, but maybe that's my lack of tact talking. Alright, what about Tapu Fini? Who's this rocking the eyelashes, Chief? Friend of yours? Oh, it's Tapu Fini, a land spirit Pokemon that's the guardian deity of Smiling. Sneaking in a bit of undercover travel, isn't it? Hang on. Is it me, or is there loads more motion in the air all of a sudden? My throat's feeling great now. Cheers, Tapu Fini. They ought to make you the guardian deity of humanifying too. That's nice. Now, I wonder if he's going to say something about these, jeez. Hold on. I wonder if they're going to say something about Virizion, Cobalion, and Terrakion. Along with Keldeo. It would be pretty nice if he actually has some information about that. Hold the phone, Chief. You haven't got any legendary Pokemon with you. It happened. Really? Alright. You know what? Say that again to my Keldeo when I battle you. Let's go around then. Get Ultra Mega ready, Chief. You're gonna take back what you said, Peony, about my Legendaries. Let's do this, Keldeo. My dear Nia's watching from the sidelines. Time to activate Coolest Dad Ever mode. Yeah, I'm gonna make you eat those words. Secret Sword! Okay, that didn't work. Look at you showing how it's done. I expected nothing less from you, Chief. Alright, we got Seed-Bomb? Oh. I didn't know Keldeo actually had a weakness with grass. Oh, it might be part water. That may explain it. Please don't. Keldeo, hang in there! Alright, you're done. Goodbye. Alright, we got Paparaja, keep going. I might be able to close combat. This is going to be really close. Right. What hits harder? Okay. Nice. Okay, maybe the critical got us some luck. Okay, nice Terrakion. I got bronze on. We probably should. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch. Alright, Cobalion, let's do this. Alright, go ahead and sword dance. Oh. Oh, good thing I'm part steel. Alright, Sacred Sword. Maybe I should have went for close combat. See ya. Nice. Alright, we got Agron. Let's go ahead and switch. I was waiting on this one. Alright, Virizion, you know what to do. Sacred Sword! Okay, so far so good. Alright, good thing I switched. Alright, use Leaf Blade! See ya! Alright, we got Scissor. That's a bug type, right? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go for Terrakion on this. Don't go letting your guard down yet. I still got a thrash and enough to give. Alright, hang in there, Terrakion. Use Sword Dance! I'll do the bullet punch. You know what? That might be a lot. I don't think Terrakion's gonna make it. Ah, you know what? Forget it. Ah, forget it. I give up. Alright, the gig is up. Zamazenta, you come out. Try and bullet punch me now. Alright, you know what to do. Alright, that's fine. We'll go one more. Really? Wing attack? Yeah, goodbye. That's what you get for not calling our Pokemon Legendaries. Someone got stronger again, have you? Oh well, hats off to you in more ways than one. That's why you're the chief. Mighty strong Pokemon you got. Cobalion and the rest with the Ultra Mega Please, and they got a chance to cut loose too. Yeah. And serves you right for not calling my team Legendaries. Anyways, speaking of, there's one more thing I need to do real quick. Before we close off the video, we need to go back on the lab for a second. Because there's something I need to show you guys. It's been ages since I last been here. Not. I've actually visited here not too long ago. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and go over to the professor's house real quick, or yeah, the lab, because there's something I need to do. Also, I got the assistant back. Well, one thing led to another, and I'm working here again. Don't worry, I'll do my best to actually help out this time. Yeah, hopefully you don't betray Sonia again. Anyways, is there anything new, or... Also, Hop is back from the dojo. I see him over there. In fact, the last time I saw him, or like, last time he was at the dojo, he mentioned something about, like, all the gym leaders coming in and so forth. And he also, showed you about, like, some rare Pokemon in case you need it. Unfortunately, since the Crown Tundra came back, then he's here now. The Galarian Star Tournament is pretty great. They get some real brilliant ideas now and then. My studies come first, of course, but if I do take part in the journey, I'll be sure to do it right. Alright. Alright, Sonia. I got Keldeo. What? There was a fourth legendary Pokemon after Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion? Yep. Only I stuck it out a bit longer out there. Well, bang up job as always, Gloria. Thanks for the report. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So, in the next video, we'll pretty much do something in the dojo that I probably should have done a long time ago, but the reason why I didn't want to do it at the moment was because I wasn't really into it, but I might actually check it out. So, I'll show you what it is in the next video, so stay tuned, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.